Welcome back to the Viking Spotlight, where we share stories from people in the Lynbrook community.
This year we have more than 25 new teachers on campus.
And today we are going to get to know some of them.
Hi, I'm Miss Howard.
Konnichiwa, minasan, Nagai sensei desu.
Bonjour, my name is Valerie Aidan.
Hi, I'm Mr. Nguyen.
I'm Mr. Baugh. Hi Mom, hi Dad.
I really like Lynbrook. I think that it's full of students who are really intelligent and a lot of go-getters.
It's been great. The teachers here have been really supportive as a new teacher here, and the students are great, and the community is really positive. So I'm digging it so far.
I like it a lot. It's a really cool environment. All the other teachers are great and helping me along, and the students are really cool.
I like it. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of similar atmosphere like Cupertino. I only teach one period, so I want to get to know more Lynbrook.
There's a lightness here that I haven't seen in other high schools. Not that I have worked in many high schools, but there's a lightness here. The students seem very happy. Okay, they're not completely tensed about the grade. That's very nice.
Before I came to Lynbrook, I was student teaching down the street at Prospect. I was student teaching there for 2 periods a day, technically 3, for the entire school year there. And before that, I was working at an animation company, working on their YouTube side, working with independent animators and artists.
I was teaching at Cupertino High School, and also before that I was teaching at Peterson and Wilcox High School, teaching Japanese, yeah. And way before that I was teaching English at high school in Tokyo.
So I've been a teacher for 18 years. I've also been, while being a part-time teacher, so I was a full-time teacher of psychology and French. Then I became a part-time teacher. I was also a department head for 6 years. And when I became a part-time teacher, I tried my hand at real estate. So I'm a broker, real estate broker. I also became a notary public because it's useful to meet people. I really like real estate, but nothing compares to being with a group of students. It's just being with students is very enriching. It's very meaningful. Selling houses is fun. Okay, it's challenging. I love doing negotiations. I love prepping a house. It's just not as fulfilling as teaching.
So I was teaching in Newark. I was teaching middle school math, 7th and 8th grade for about 12 years, and then decided it was time for a change, so moved up to high school.
I collect things. I collect guitars. I collect vinyl records. I collect Magic the Gathering cards. I collect shoes. All expensive things. I should have less expensive hobbies. I go snowboarding. Also expensive. I should stop doing expensive things.
I like to rock climb. I like to hang out with my nephews. I just had a baby nephew that was born a couple months ago, so I like hanging out with him. And Liam as well as my other nephew, Liam and Max. I like to hang out with them and my family. But my husband and I really like to rock climb. I'd say that's our hobby right now.
Have you met Mr. Leung, the chemistry teacher?
Yes. That's actually, he was one of the first people I met from Lynbrook because Mr. Leung and my husband climbed together at Planet Granite. Yeah, and then he said that he was working at Lynbrook and said how wonderful it was, and I'm like, I'm working at Lynbrook.
One of my hobbies, cooking. I like Japanese dishes, so I like to cook Japanese food like every day. And I don't have time right now, but I like to dance as well. Yeah, I was taking salsa dance way back in Japan. In Santa Cruz, before started teaching at Wilcox, I was also doing some Cuban salsa. Yeah.
I love theater. I don't do any now because I just don't have time. I love hiking. I love biking. I love running. I really love running. I read a lot. I love learning. What else? Cooking, I used to love it, I just don't have time to do it anymore. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So a lot of people don't know this. I'm actually a gamer. I do have my own YouTube channel. I post content from time to time. I don't let the students in on it, but yeah, so that's one hobby I have. And then yeah, I like to play games, hang out with friends, and read in my spare time, which I don't have very much of, but yeah.
I got 3 letters of rejection from Caltech. That's funny for everyone else. I really wanted to go there. I was always interested in physics, and if you want to go to physics, you go to Caltech. If you can't go to Caltech, you go to MIT. I didn't apply to MIT because I thought I was really set, and I thought my personal statements were cool. They weren't. Turns out you shouldn't write a personal statement talking about how the college admission system is a very unfair and biased way to admit kids, and doesn't give you the full view of what the student is or can bring to, and don't do that. 3 letters of rejection. 1 email, which makes sense, but 2 in the mail. Who sends 2 letters of rejections in the mail?
When I was in college, I got my heel stuck in the stage. I was an actress in college at UC Santa Cruz, and we performed in what was called the Barn Theater. And one time my heel got stuck in the barn floor where the students were performing. And I totally had to make up a line that was not originally Oscar Wilde at all. And I just made up a line, and I had to bend over and physically yank my heel out of the stage in the middle of a show. And I thought I totally had blown it. And then I went and talked to my family afterward, and they're like, we thought that was a part of the show.
Funny story. So I told my first period class this actually. The first day of school, my first year of teaching, I was trying to show my students how to enter and exit the classroom. And when they enter, they knock the desk out of position, so I was trying to tell them to put all the furniture back where they found it. So I demonstrated that completely wrong, and we were using really old desks, and I slid into the desk and actually broke the desk. Yeah, so it launched me in a roller coaster position, and then I had to free myself. And it was the very first day of school, so it was the funniest thing ever.
My first role in front of the camera as an actress, I was playing a vampire from space. Okay, that was my first role. So it was very goofy, very low budget. It was funny.
In college, I was a member of the Society of Physics students. I was the associate zone counselor. I was in charge of basically all the chapters for the Society of Physics students for every university in California, Nevada, Hawaii, China, and Philippines. And I was responsible for helping to set up and run the quadrennial every 4 years Congress, which is everyone gets together and meets. The time before, it was held at Lawrence Livermore Labs. The most recent time was last year, and was held at SLAC, the Stanford Linear Accelerator. But the time I held it was in between those times, and it was at the Kennedy Space Center in Orlando. So got to go to Disney World. Got paid to go to Disney World.
My favorite high school memories, I'd say my English teacher, Miss Danielski. She's still an English teacher. And I remember she assigned for us The Princess Bride to read over the summer. And I remember that was the first time that I had really picked out a book and enjoyed it. Or I guess I didn't pick it out, she picked it out for me. But that was the first time that I really enjoyed reading. It was really funny, and I had seen the movie, so I had some context. And she was really wonderful throughout the entire year. That book kind of set the precedent for her teaching style. She was very animated and fun and really nice, and really cared about me as a human being. I still talk to her to this day. And I think she's what inspired me to become a teacher.
That's where I've met my 2 best friends. I still have them as best friends. I met one of them when I was 9 years old, and the other when I was 14 years old. And we're still friends. So we did a lot of stuff, some of things that we were not supposed to do.
I remember in science class, one of my teachers was doing a demonstration, and he thought the balloon was filled with helium, and he went to light it. It was actually filled with hydrogen, and he had forgotten it, so it blew up. And the next thing we knew is we were looking for him. We didn't find him. When he lit it and it blew up, he had ran so fast behind his desk that no one noticed he had done it. And so I just remember that, and I still to this day don't know if he did that on purpose or not. He might have, but it was really cool. Just kind of got us interested.
High school memory. So I was playing violin, so I always like to practice violin with my friends after school. Yeah. Oh, good question. I always like to, like help younger kids because I have younger sister, and I just really like teaching. When I did the student teaching in Tokyo, it was just really fun, and I was like, this is something that I really want to do.
I chose to be a teacher because I really liked my old physics teacher, and I always wanted to be a teacher at the end of my career. I wanted to go into industry first, like he did. He worked in lasers. I wanted to do something physics or engineering related. But I found that I didn't really enjoy industry and the shadowing and internships that I did. So I decided to just skip the middle part and go straight to teaching.
My grandmother was a teacher, inspired me to look into it. So I kind of have some family background, and I've always enjoyed working with young people. So I actually did some babysitting in my previous life, and that kind of prepared me for this a little bit, but it was really my grandmother inspiring me to pursue it.
Recently, my favorite meme is the one of the guy and what's supposedly his significant other walking on the street, and he's turning around looking at the other girl that's walking past. Like another person walking past, because that's great, and it applies to so many things. Like, I'm really into basketball. I watch pretty much every sport. But so there was the one of LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's just turning around looking at other teams, and LeBron's looking at him like, what the hell? And it's so good. I love it. It's just so widely applicable. I like memes that are very can be generally applied to a lot of things.
I really like teacher memes. There's one actually of a gladiator. It's like, rah! And then it says, "Are you not entertained?" It's a teacher meme, and it's basically when you're in front of a class and they're all staring at you like, and you're just like, you feel like a gladiator. You're like, "Are you not entertained? Like, what can I do to make you excited about ethos, pathos, and logos? What creative way can I engage you?" So sometimes I feel like that, like a gladiator, What am I doing wrong, people? What can I do to entertain you more?